Got some time to work on the Barracuda today, so I'm gonna try to just get some battery wiring going on. Just try to make some little steps forward on this thing today. So my main goal is to just get this ran to the firewall at the minimum, which should be pretty simple. But I've got this bulkhead fitting that I need to install in the firewall. So it looks like this. And I came around here and looked, and I think where I want it is going to be right in this area right here. I think that clears anything in the floor in there on the firewall, and pretty adequate clearance here to run a power wire off of that to my starter, and maybe run one off the alternator into that stud. Typically I get red for positive, but in this car I didn't want it to stick out, so I got black. I think it'll look decent. But first thing I'm going to do is I have the insulation to put on the firewall there, where it's just metal currently. That's this stuff back here, right here. Typically it's like a yellow looking stuff from the factory. But yeah, I need to get that in there just to confirm I'm not going to interfere with it with the bulkhead. And I don't have my heater core box with me. I'm in the middle of fixing it and repairing it to reinstall it in the car, but I think that this should give me a good enough idea of where to avoid. Maybe. I don't know, I'll have to check. So I'm just gonna get this installed real quick, and then I'll get to trying to figure out where to put that bulkhead fitting. Got the insulation in. Thought that was gonna be a real quick thing, you know, just hang it up there and push the little clips in. Of course it wasn't. I seem to gripe about products in my last several videos. These people, they make a nice insulation kit. It's really nice, and I'm glad people make reproduction parts for these, but the clips, man. So this is the clip that comes with it, which it looks good. It looks all right. It's a little shorter than factory. This is the original one. But my problem with it was it wouldn't go through the hole on the firewall where this cone, you know, kind of tries to push it through, which it looks about the same size. But the problem is that these are really soft and bendy compared to the factory one, which has some give, but it feels more rigid. So I had to take all the clips and shave this little cone edge down by hand with a little razor knife. So it took me longer than I thought, but I got that done. So now I'm gonna finally try to get my bulkhead, my battery cable bulkhead thing here located. And I think where I was looking in the engine bay was somewhere right in here. I'll reconfirm that. I think that'll be good because my heater box will be obviously right here, and I think it hangs down a little bit. I think it'll conceal it good, and between that and the carpet, I think it'll be a good spot. So let me figure that out real quick. All right, I got my hole located, and had to run to town to get a step bit. I didn't have any that were big enough. So let's see how it goes. All right, I'll let that cool down, and I'll hit it with a file, because I can't get a deburr bit in there behind the head on the motor. So I have to just hit it with a file and clean up those edges, and I'll test fit it. I think it's gonna work. Okay, got her in there. I don't know if you can see it back there, but there she is. I'll probably end up cutting that cover off because it makes it kind of hard to bolt cables to. It just seats around the base of it, so it doesn't really allow for wire to come out. So I'll probably cut that off, but I think it looks good down there. Here's how it looks in here. So now I'm ready to run my cable. So I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna try to fish it up into the wheel well there so that it comes out kind of down by the door panel here. I'm not real sure how I'm gonna do that yet. I might have to get like a coat hanger or something. But I'd like for it to come out in this area here. And really, if I could get it to come out into this channel here, that's what that's for, was wire. So that would be ideal. So that's what I'm gonna start doing now. So this wire I got is 2 gauge. It's stuff I use on pretty much everything I wire, and I really like it because it's super flexible. It's really nice. This one happened to come pre-terminated on both ends, which, you know, I'm gonna end up cutting it anyways, but that's all right. I don't really have a good visual up in here of where I'm at. It's very dark. I'm just gonna start shoving wire in here. There we go. That's working. Definitely stopped somewhere now. I'm hoping it's down in front of the wheel well there. Let's go look. All right, I was able to get it to fall where I needed it after a couple of attempts, and I used a piece of welding rod here with a little angle built in it, and I was able to fish it out of there. So I'd say that's a win. Feeling pretty lucky with that. But now I just need to pull it along and kind of route it where I need it. And I think I'm gonna pull this side long, like pull all the slack out of it this way, and get my eyelet mounted on this battery terminal here. And then I'll be able to mark the line up here where I need it, cut it, and I'll probably be able to just swing it out here to put my new eyelet on it. Okay, I've got it routed now up where I want it, and I think I'm just gonna run it up along the bottom of this insulation here. Now I can mark it for cutting. So what I usually do is take an eyelet like this, and I probably should have bolted it there, but here I can. Bolt it on there. Something like that. And now I know kind of where my wire needs to be, right there in the end of that eyelet. So I will mark that right in there somewhere. That should be all right. Maybe a little longer. Mark it right there. Whoops. Yeah, that'll be good. Now I can pull it out of here, and I'll swing it down here on the floor, cut it, strip it, and crimp it. Okay, so here's my mark. I got me these neat little cutters here for cutting cable like this. They did a pretty good job. Pretty good. So I got that cut. Now, when you go to strip them, I usually just use an eyelet again, just to eyeball it, kind of. Maybe almost right there where I marked it before. And I'll just give it a little cut like that to kind of give me a guide. And just go all the way around it with the razor knife here until I get a nice strip. All right. Test it. Make sure you don't fray the wires out. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it. So now I need to crimp it. So I'll show you that. I'm doing that on the floor because I have this crimper right here. So I need to set it on the ground and so that I can hammer it. But basically it just sits the eyelet in there like that. It's sprung, so it kind of holds it. It's pretty nice. And then you just put the cable in there and smack it down and it crimps it. I like to give it a few whacks, just to be sure. As you can see there, it puts a little divot in it, and it kind of creases it on the bottom too, like a V shape where it sits in that channel. And it's a pretty nice crimp. So yeah, just slip on some heat shrink and it's good to go. Well, I couldn't find the heat gun, so the heat shrink is not shrank. But other than that, that's it for this wire. I'm glad it was able to route where I wanted it to. I think it looks pretty good. So now I just need to do the ground wire off of that and run a wire from the post on the firewall now to the starter and to the alternator. Alright, so it's been a few days now since I left off in the video, and I already went ahead and got the alternator and starter wired up between just having a little bit of time here and there after work and stuff, and got the heater box restored. Me and my dad were doing that over at their house. So got that done. That's pretty much ready to go in the car. And here's a look at the alternator wiring. So, I mean, all it is this power wire. This is a one wire from Power Master. So just this power wire right here goes back to my stud on the firewall right there. And that red wire you see going there, that's just a temporary wire for now, because I'm going to try to get the car fired up here in the next week or so, I hope. But that's just a wire that goes all the way back to where the factory wire picked up off the battery for power to the starter relay here, and it powered the fuse box and all in the car. So that's temporary. I think I'm going to end up relocating this relay inside the car somewhere and probably upgrading to a less bulky, crazy looking relay. But I got that in the starter solenoid wire. I just got the original one here. It's ran back to the starter. And the power wire to the starter, obviously, like I said, I got that ran, and it's pretty hard to see, but I don't know if you can see it from here, but I do have it ran down in there with a heat sleeve over it. So just a few little things to do to get this thing fired up. I also got all my fittings installed here. I got some fittings for the heater hose, and that's for my temperature gauge, which I still have to do that. I think I unfortunately have to punch a hole through the firewall. I wasn't really wanting to do that, but I think I'm going to have to for that, so I'm going to probably do that somewhere back there around the distributor. But I'll show you this too. I use these little boots for the power wires. I like them for, you know, I guess safety, you'd say, or whatever, keep you from being able to hit that and conduct. But they are almost always kind of a pain. I mean, these are kind of cheapies anyways from Amazon, but maybe there's a better alternative, but they serve their purpose. So yeah, got that done. Like I said, a few little things left to do. I think before I put that heater core in there, or box, I'm probably just gonna loop the heater lines and try to get this thing fired up, get the gauges installed. I got the temp gauge and a oil pressure gauge back there I gotta put on. I don't wanna fire it without those. Besides that, I think that's just about it. Gotta slip that belt on for the power steering. But that'll tell me if there's good news or not, I guess, with how it's gonna run and whether it's gonna leak all over the place or whatever. We'll see, but yeah, just a few little things left to do and I'll get to hear this thing again. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.